So I asked the only person that appeared to be normal about the plan that he says that he has for $59.99, and I asked him that about 11. Okay, and then he responded at 106. So across the board, it's irritating to communicate with people because they'll ignore me for days. My kids do it. It's not a normal texting experience because for me, they are ignoring me. And it's like, to me, disrespectful. I mean, making someone wait days, months before you respond, if you ever respond. And I'm seeing other people communicating. It's a form of psychological abuse to disregard someone, and that's what's happening. So on POF, it kept glitching. So we're sending text to each other. So it doesn't have to glitch because he just doesn't respond right. This is the only person that appeared to be normal. And as I stated, I believe all people that I come in contact with are controlled, and I'm just trying to prove it. So then he states that he's paying $59.99 for his POF plan, and he can't even view his likes. And I said, "You're paying and can't review your likes?" And then I said, "And you still can't see who likes you?" That happened at 107. So right here it says a POF Plus membership for 6 months. This is why I do screenshots and record everything. So for me, 1 week is $29.99, $30 per week, and he's paying $59.99 for 6 months. So it would, whenever I tried to record, it was manipulated and incorrect. So it wouldn't show that I was being defrauded out of funds. So since I've been going through this years, I take screenshots before they have time to manipulate the cost and cover for crimes, knowing that you'd never believe my story. So I'm trying to see. It says that I have 533 new likes. I don't know if I have that many likes because when I'm doing something, I'll get it and get these notifications, and it's like an irritant. And I can't see the 533 people. So it's annoying to keep on here and picking up my phone to see what the notification is, and it's this nonsense that I can't see. So they're telling me if I want to see who's like it, who likes me, and he's claiming he's paying $59.99 and still can't see, and then don't want to talk about it. I don't want to keep talking to everyone that's covering for someone that's violating me, including family. But I'm trapped in the twilight zone and don't have a choice. So nonetheless, it's demanding to see who liked me that I paid $21.27, and that's $19.99 a week. I don't get that. What's happening? And then it cuts off, and then this nonsense again. Let me go back. So I guess they're trying to trap me if I want to just try it out and see how it works. POF won't contact me back, period. And they're just claiming that they don't have a chat. You pay all this money, and then it's impossible to speak with them. That's what they want me to believe. So nonetheless, so if I want to do it for a trial, they're trying to make sure I don't do the trial, and then they're going to charge me $19.99 for a week, $21.27, to railroad me into getting something more extensive to get nowhere. So if I want a month, that's $31.91 for a whole month, and that's $7.50 a week. So if I want 3 months, that's $63.83, $5 a week. And then if I want 1 year, that's $127.67, and that's $2.31 a week. And I'm known to be very frugal with my money, and nonetheless, so some kind of way he's paying $59.99, he claims, and still can't see who likes him. I sent the message at 107. The time now is 1:17. But I'm not quite certain that you understand. For all this time, homeless, struggling for my life, I have been defrauded out of thousands. Thousands. I'm not quite certain that you understand. Attorney General Child Support Division has defrauded me of funds. I'm not quite certain that you understand. Health and Human Services has defrauded me out of funds. Social Security Administration has defrauded me out of funds. The IRS, Internal Revenue Service, has defrauded me of funds, about $10,000 on tax returns and stimulus checks I've been defrauded out of. I'm not quite certain of how much Social Security I've been defrauded out of. It was from somebody else's benefit. And he said that I do have a substantial amount. Not only did they defraud me out of Social Security benefits, also my child. So this party said at one point does not mind being an accomplice to the government's crimes. He did say at some point, because it had been so long since I got the funds, they wouldn't let me have them, that it had accumulated to a pretty good amount. And he said, go check it out. I checked it, and it is a pretty good amount. They wouldn't give me the funds in corruption. Then they lied and then said they paid it out. The government could not get their life straight, and nobody is governing them to enforce that they, have accountability for embezzlement and all kind of other criminal activity. And not to mention how SMI One Card, whoever I was talking to, was an accomplice to me being defrauded out of probably close to 1,000. So in this journey, which I said I'm not a wealthy woman, I may have been defrauded at maybe I'm estimating maybe 20,000. I don't know, because I can't get the truth about how much the government has really stolen from me. That's not including how all these sites are repeatedly manipulated. And then our hotel fee will be 109, and then it'll change to 159 from nowhere. That's not, including the fact that if I'm buying something that's $5.99 on Amazon, then it'll change to $6.99. Well, the person that's behind this knows that I'm really frugal. And it's an irritant for me to be defrauded out of even that dollar, knowing my financial situation that I'm in. So I've had Uber that was supposed to be $19, and then I was confirming it, and then it glitched and changed to $57. So I called the police. I said that it was like the second time today I was being defrauded out of funds, but it happens all the time. So I called the police, and they did what they do best and cover for it. So they were so crooked at one point, and I had to upload it. They tried to lie because I had a lot of back child support due. They didn't even want me getting. They tried to defraud me out of. I had a $5,800 payment that came up missing that I needed in a crisis when I was in Itasca. Whoever I was talking to lied and said they never got it. They were caught in a lie. The stepmothers told me that everybody else got their money and they don't know what happened with me getting mine. Nonetheless, I wrote to the crooked 255th District Court. I told him that he got a lump sum and I never got it. Well, they were forced to put the money on my card later because they were going to defraud me out of the $5,800. But since I wrote to the court that I did not get the funds, they were forced to not defraud me out of that funds because that would have been evidence. Now, when I'm in jail on false charges, the mail is controlled, knowing that you'll never believe my story. And the places that I'm writing never get my mail. So I've just stopped writing. I said, forget it. I already know their crimes. I've been going through so long time. I'm just going to write the abuse of the person that set it up. I'm going with the postage that I get because I've been writing all over the United States. And then one location was so crooked, I tried to hurry up and write this letter to the FBI before a mail call. This was the Lou Sterick in Dallas. So I was panicking, trying to get the letter because I'm like that. I'm like obsessive when it comes to getting things done. I used to be. So nonetheless, I hurried up and wrote the letter and I put it in there. And then I was just, I was watching something on the TV. That's when they let me out for TV often. Now it's controlled and I can barely get out to watch TV. But nonetheless, I was watching TVs like 2 days later. And I said, what? That's my letter still in the mailbox. Well, they do daily mail call. So 2 days they left my mail in there, and then they tried to play it off and said the person was off that normally picks up the mail. So that's a felony charge that people aren't being held accountable for. Because I used to really write these. Why would you put yourself in prison? Because they're all committing crimes in these jails, knowing that you'll never believe my story. So do they want to do this felony charge of depriving me of the right to have mail, or do they want to have accountability for the 30 plus felonies are being racked up in jail, depriving me of recreation, court on false charges, law library, regular library, and enlisting inmates that threaten me, torment me, violate me, cover up? That's too many charges. So they prefer just to do that felony of tampering with mail. That way, all the crimes that are being committed are not being reported. But anyone willing to do law enforcement, the first they got found out the first time in Hill County with Diane Hammer when someone came to investigate her, that the best thing to do is set up counterfeits to conceal crimes, knowing you never believe the story. So someone reported Diane Hammer and the jail staff in Hill County, and they claimed that she went to jail for it. I don't know what the truth is. Nonetheless, that they're still committing the crimes. That hasn't stopped. They're just trying to do better cover up to not be held accountable, like perhaps maybe possibly they were with Diane Hammer. But if they were investigating Diane Hammer, conspirators, I probably know that you're probably listening. Why don't you think that they would be investigating you under the wraps? Why don't you think? Wouldn't it be common sense? People that are involved in law enforcement, that they're probably investigating you and you don't know. Because if they investigated her and she went to jail, why don't you think that they're following me, monitoring all the felonies that you're racking up? You guys think that you're just so above the law that you can repeatedly be out of control and no one is ever going to govern the government that's running itself in the ground. All I know, I don't, this is just a video diary of my experiences, and I'm just trying to prove how repeatedly I'm defrauded out of funds. I'm just not quite certain on why you don't think that your citizens and civilians won't be concerned about you being contributing to identity theft, being accomplices, and enlisting other parties in financial crimes. I'm not quite certain on why you think that all your citizens don't mind being in cahoots with that, even churches. Nonetheless, this is just a video diary. I just wanted you to see. I don't know who I'm talking to. Let's look at what's the time now. The time is now 1:26, and this is who my phone wants me to. I don't have a choice of who my phone wants me to talk to. People that have to get their life straight. It took him a long amount of time to send me this, over an hour. Who wants to chat with someone when the text is just long, drawn out and take forever, like he has to get a story straight? But this year after year, I'm just trying to prove it.